What has your experience like been with Oregon? You mentioned you grew up in Arizona. Probably, again, we're a fan of either Arizona or Arizona State, one of your rivals at that, playing now for
For
Oregon. What have
sure.
been the big differences? And again, what were some of the things that made you choose Oregon as a whole, both, again, with the athletic programs? They have a lot of good ones, too. Basketball team that made the Final Four, football team that was very good this year. You had a Sabrina
Yeah.
Ionescu. What were some of those experiences like, and what were the big reasons you chose Oregon?
Yeah, I mean, the experiences of being an Oregon athlete is absolutely amazing. I would say that coming from Arizona to there has been a huge adjustment, mainly with the weather. I'm used to having it always be sunny and like 115, but now I go and it's cloudy and rainy and it's 52 instead of 100, and it's just kind of like I had to buy a bunch of new clothes, and I don't know. That's the biggest struggle for me was moving. I'm a very independent person, so leaving my family was hard, but it wasn't like making my decision for me. And they're super supportive with what decision I did choose to make. I would say the athletic department is absolutely probably one of the best I've ever even heard of and or been a part of, obviously. They care about us so much as people. And experiencing Oxy Stadium every single Saturday was one of the most amazing things all of my 3 years. Me and a few of my teammates actually get front row seats every single time and just like scream the entire game. We get there 2 hours early and just sit in the front and we enjoy the game.
Do you
The
quack?
basketball.
Do you quack?
What?
Do you quack?
We do not flat.
Ah, man. Come
I'm
in.
not even sure how that would work. We should get like a little thing that does it for us.
I have a
I'm
ringtone.
going to get a pet duck.
I would love to see you quack. That would be funny. I have the whole fans just start quacking in the audience. Like Mighty
We'll make
Ducks,
it
you know?
happen at the game.
There we go. And you could say that I'm the one that gave you that idea. So it'll be something
Exactly.
spiritual for me and for you, and you can remember this interview.
Maybe they could do it like the Long Island Ducks and
Perfect.
get those like duck whistles, duckbill whistles.
That's exactly what we need.
Oh, man. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I was just saying, like, basketball, I mean, obviously Sabrina Ionescu, it's weird because, like, she's such a star, you know, and to, like, actually know her personally, and I'm not, like, super close with her, but be able to see her, like, walking around campus and not be, like, you're starstruck, but you're also like, hey, like, I've had a conversation with you. Like, I actually know who you are. This is crazy that I'm walking in the same street as you. So it's definitely interesting. Like, being Justin Herbert, you're like, whoa, like, you're big time, dude, but, like, I see you and sit next to you at breakfast. It's weird.
Let's hope he becomes a good quarterback in the NFL.
I
so,
really hope so.
so they don't kill him.
He's such a good person.
We don't want to see him get killed. I mean, we've heard enough on social media about him that everybody thinks he's going to be a bust. I don't think. I think he's the best quarterback in this year's draft. That's just me. But we are talking to Oregon's a softball player, Shaye Bowden. Shaye, have you ever played? Have you ever hit a pinata before?
Have I ever what?
Hit a pinata.
Yes.
Well, good, because we're working on something for the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. We're going to tie Speedy up and tie him to a string to a tree. And we're going to get baseball and softball players. We're going to blindfold them and see who gets the best swing on Speedy. And whoever does get the best swing on Speedy gets to come in to the studio and do a show with us and watch Speedy
With
lay
us,
there.
I'll be dead. You'll have to, it'll be you.
Are we replacing him or?
Well,
Yes, essentially you are, because if you're going to swing, have a competition, I'd probably be dead.
So will you take the spot?
And when we're done, we'll take pictures of it and we'll hang it up in the auditorium for the Oregon Ducks. What do you think about that?
I mean, yeah, that sounds exciting.
You see that, Speedy? I've got her on my side.
Yes, they're not the victim. Of course they would do it. If they were the victim, they wouldn't like it.
Like a bunch of stuff, we're good.
Well, there you go. But really, seriously, what is your I mean, me, I was an athlete too, and I grew up a big time athlete, and I was getting looked at from NHL teams when I was 16 years old, 15 years old. What is it like playing with players that could be the next United States softball superstar for For USA softball. What is it like playing against some of the great softball players in the country?
Oh, it's absolutely insane. For example, like Fifth Bates, she plays for Washington. I'm pretty sure everybody knows who she is at this point. But playing against her, I actually roomed with her at USA junior tryouts. And she was by far just one of the sweetest people. But seeing her on the field, you would never, like, she's just a monster. She's so good. And then hitting against Rachel Garcia, I mean, it's absolutely, like, mind-boggling that I'm going up against a future Olympian. And then also Deja Mulitola at U of A, a catcher. I haven't seen many people steal on her, and it's just cool that, like, you get to play on the same field that people are going to represent your country with, and I think that's just awesome.
You obviously, being a softball player growing up, you obviously know that the Olympics took it away for a while. I think after 2008, they took it away for the last two Summer Olympics, and as baseball as well. What do you think were the biggest reasons for that? And what do you think, are you surprised that they took it away, being it was very popular and they were a very successful team?
Yeah, so from my understanding, they took it away for a few reasons. One of the main reasons is you have to have a boy and a girl sport in order to compete. And what I was told was that the MLB didn't want to lose their best of their best players during the midst of their season, which totally makes sense. But it was also income. We weren't getting as many views during the Olympics as maybe other sports, and so I think it kind of caused a problem. Softball isn't super, super popular in many other countries, as well as baseball. And I'm not surprised they took it away, but I'm really happy that they brought it back because I think that was the best decision overall.
As you guys know, we are talking to Oregon softball player Shaye Bowden. Shaye, you grew up looking up to certain people. I'm sure your parents are two people. They're hardworking, as you said. They're construction workers. They fix houses and sell houses. Is there a particular athlete growing up as a baseball player or a softball player that you looked up to that you wanted to be just like?
Hey, you're probably going to laugh, but Buster Posey.
Really?
Oh my gosh, I am obsessed with him. See, that's why I'm number 28. Like, I am absolutely obsessed with this man. I think that he plays the game for all the right reasons. And I think that what he advocates is for all the right reasons. And I really just love the way he played the game and the way that he changed the game as well. And he always played with, like, you could tell, I don't know, you can tell when players are playing for the money and you can tell when people are playing for the love of the game. And I could always just tell that he was playing for the love of the game. And I really just wanted to strive to be just like that.
You playing at Oregon, you're in the Pac-12, and the Pac-12 throughout the Power 5 conferences, I've always been known as the Conference of Parity. They have the Pac-12 After Dark crazy games for football and basketball and baseball and softball, obviously, several sports, and it just seems like there's a lot of parity. What is it like being involved in that kind of conference where, again, anything could happen kind of thing? There's not really one amazing team for a lot of the sports, but there's a lot of really good teams, whereas, again, you see other conferences be top-heavy. What is that kind of experience like in those conference games?
It's intense for sure. My freshman year, we were battling with UCLA and Washington for a Pac-12 championship, and it was head-to-head. It was down to the last game. And so we never really were comfortable with where we stood, and I think that that's something that drives competition and then drives so much. It makes the game a lot more fun because you're starting to play for something, and you're playing against a bunch of people, and these people are absolutely amazing. And like last year, like I said, we weren't, the best in the pack, but we still would compete with these teams, and you were like, wait, I remember you guys not being so great last year, but now you guys are competing for the top 5 or the top 3, So I think it changes every year based off your recruiting class and the transfers, and I think that's super cool to just be able to see that and never know what's going to happen.
Before we let you go, Shaye, could you tell us what your plans are in the future? Do you plan to try out for the United States softball team? What are your plans as an athlete and plans after you graduate from Oregon?
Yeah, so with the whole COVID thing, I'm hoping that I get my 2 years. As of right now, I have both my years back. And so I plan on finishing in 2022, which is a little crazy to think. But after that, I do plan on it. Again, it all depends on what happens in my life, but if it were to be right now, I'd plan on hanging up my cleats actually, and I am working to be in physician's assistant school, so I want to be a PA, and that's 2 years of school outside of what I am right now, and they actually don't allow you to coach or do anything on the side So I'd be just a student for another 2 years. But if I do end up, obviously, if I get the honor to try out for the USA team, I would never pass that opportunity up. So.
Well, I'll tell you this. We're rooting for you. I'm backing you up on this. And you're on Team Errol, not Team Speedy. So team motivation, you could be our fan now. I hope you follow us. We really appreciate you joining us, and we would love to get you on when the softball season does begin again. I want you to stay in touch with us. Tell everybody to follow us, laugh at Speedy, and trust me, we are going to have a piñata, and we're going to hang Speedy up on a tree. So if you're not going to hit him, and half the baseball players we interview are not going to hit him, I'm going to do it for all of you. So don't worry.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for having me today. I actually had a blast. You guys are hilarious.
Thank you so much. Before we let you go, tell the fans how they can find you on social media.
How we can what?
How they can find you on social media.
So you guys are going to go to Worldwide Sports Radio Network on Twitter, and we're going to press the follow button, and then you can go to my Instagram, click on my story, and then click the little thing that I posted and follow them on Instagram.
Oh, you are the best. Stay in touch.
Look at that. A little promotion.
Stay in touch and tell everybody to follow us. And by the way, tell the people over there, do you have iOS or do you have Droid?
I have an Apple.
You have an Apple, iOS. When you get off the phone with us, go to your iOS store, search WWSRN. Worldwide Sports Radio Network. It's WWSRN. Download our app. Tell all your friends and all your fans to follow us. We would love for you guys to follow us. And by the way, we would love to come down there maybe soon because we are going to be traveling soon and interview some of the players on your team and some of your coaches. We would love to do that.
Yes, absolutely. We would love that. And I'll make sure to let everybody know.
All right. So definitely download that app. It just came up about 2 months ago. It's one of the best, hottest apps right now for sports radio. So there you go. That's the selling point. That's the selling
We got
point.
someone to promote it. You didn't even ask.
Yes, you got to promote us.
You got to start posting dancing videos, and you'll be good.
Oh, you want to see some dancing videos? I will send you a. I will tell. You know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna do you a favor. I will this week. I'm going to do a dancing video. We're going to do a TikTok video, me and Speedy, and we're going to post it all over social media. I guarantee you we'll have people laughing. Download our app and tell everybody to download our app. I promise you, I'm going to do it for you. I'm going to hold I'm going to hold a piece of paper saying, Shaye, this is for you.
Perfect.
Okay.
I'm holding you accountable right now.
I'm telling you, I'm going to do it. I'm a man of my word. You'll see me do it.
Perfect. I'm a woman of mine.
Oh, there you go. Shaye, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. Have a great night, guys.